Myth number 4, marijuana laws are racist. They target minorities. This was a study by the ACLU about 5 or 6 years ago that found that African Americans are arrested for marijuana possession at 3.7 times the rate of whites, and this is true. Now, it's definitely true, but I say marijuana is only found incidentally, not all, but mostly found incidentally when people are searched for other reasons. So, are African Americans arrested and searched 3 times as often as whites? And the answer is yes. African Americans are actually arrested for all crimes at 3 times the rate of whites. It's different for different crimes. Burglary 3 times, murder 6 times as often, robbery 8 times as often. The only crime that African Americans are arrested significantly less than whites is drunk driving. And I don't know why that is. Anyway, there's no call to legalize murder or robbery, obviously. Now, this whole thing is really unjust. The reason, there's multiple reasons for this disparity, but they all come down to centuries of racism. Biologically, there's no such thing as race. There's no biological reason for this to be happening. It's the result of the culture that's been forced on African Americans for years. So this is a far worse injustice than marijuana arrests. But basically, African Americans get arrested for marijuana for the same reason that whites do, which is they get arrested for something else, they're searched, and marijuana is found. Now, also, African Americans get stopped and searched for no reason at all at much higher rates of whites, so marijuana is found more often. And African Americans do have a slightly higher rate, but certainly not 3 times the rate. And this is really typical of pro-marijuana research. And this, 2 things. One, this got covered in every single news outlet in the country, whereas at the same time, there's a really good study on what marijuana did